So both captains quietly confident of lifting that trophy come Sunday. I don't know whether it'll be Sunday or maybe even Monday. That depends on the weather forecast. I'll give you some bit of news about that a little later. For the moment, let's start with Harbhajan Singh. Harbhajan, Pakistan, finished second in their group. England too finished second in the group. Coincidentally, both table toppers are out. But if you were to compare these two teams man to man, who do you think has the edge?
I think England slightly they have the edge, but it doesn't matter. It's a final. It's a big final, and I feel team who absorb pressures better than the others. I think they're going to become a champion. And final is all about how you play the final. Whether you think about the final or you take that game just as another game and play the way you want to play. And simple thing is when your mind is relaxed, when you're not thinking about the result, you tend to do better than what you actually expect. But it is very difficult to forget about its final. But I think it comes down to that the team which handles the pressure better than the other goes on to win. Of course England looked really good, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go and win. They still have to work really hard against this Pakistani bowling unit, especially, who is, superior, in terms of their speed, their swing, their what they have done. I think it'll be a great game to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's talk from Pakistan's perspective, Harbhajan. And we know there has been a trend with Pakistan teams. They need to tick a few boxes. Once they tick those boxes, then they go ahead and win the tournament. One of those boxes are they need to have a bad start. They had that against India, lost that close game. Next is they need to have a big upset. They need to lose to a minnows. They did that. They lost to Zimbabwe. Next is they will have to depend on another team. The third box is they'll have to depend on another team to qualify for the knockout. That happened. Netherlands did them the favor. All boxes have been ticked. Do you believe in science? And if you believe in science, then is this Pakistan team going to do the unthinkable, that is lift the T20 World Cup trophy?
Well, so far everything is gone in their favor in terms of what has happened long back when Imran Khan won that World Cup with that great Pakistani team. Of course, but few things you also need to do it right. I think Pakistan team need to understand that they cannot be just dependent on their fast bowling. It is going to be a test of their skills, their nerve, their temperament and everything. If they want to win the World Cup, they have to play better cricket than England. And England also, haven't been one of the team who cannot be beaten. And yes, they played a brilliant game against India, but that doesn't mean that they'll just go on and walk over on Pakistan and win this game easily. So I think Pakistan have history in favor, but history is history. You have to stay in present and make history going forward. And this is a chance, and I'm sure that they will be looking forward to it. And other day I was talking to Rizwan after the game. He came and spoke to us, and he said when they lost those games, Saklan Mushtaq went up to him and said, "Look, there is something going to happen which is going to be amazing." And I don't know what that was. That belief, where it came from. That belief has to be there. If that belief is there, first you need to believe, then the whole world will believe that this can be done and this is possible. And yes, वो कहते हैं ना शाहरुख खान का डायलॉग जो कहते हैं कि अगर आप सोचेंगे तो पूरी कायनात आपको उस चीज को मिलाने के लिए वो लग जाती है. तो वही हुआ है. Exactly the same thing happened here. I think credit to them the way they played in the semi-final. Both the team, they outplayed their oppositions and they have reached the finals, and it's going to be a great final. Whoever wins, it'll still be, one of the game to watch for. Pakistan versus India. Yes, great game.
That's a very interesting story that just was narrated by Harbhajan about, Rizwan and the kind of conversations that he had with his coach in Saklan Mushtaq. Saklan himself, a champion player. He was made, there was a lot of fun made about that press conference that Saklan Mushtaq, the coach, had when they played a bilateral series between Pakistan and England. And when they lost, he said, he spoke about Kudrat ka Nizam. He's saying that, winning and losing, all these things happened. So a lot of memes were made, a lot of jokes were made about Kudrat ka Nizam. But maybe it's Saklan Mushtaq who's having the last laugh. as Harbhajan is pointing out, he spoke to his players and said that, listen, there is something special that will happen. And at the moment, as things stand right now, special things have indeed happened to this Pakistan team. Harbhajan, my next question to you, one of the most dangerous aspects of this English team is their batting, especially after what they did against that Indian team. It looked like that this is the team that can get 200 or scares you. Do you think the fact that the final is happening in MCG and not in Adelaide, Adelaide is a flat track where you can get 200, where good batting sides look dangerous. Melbourne, what we've seen so far are bowler-friendly conditions. We saw the India-Pakistan game like that. We're expecting overcast conditions, so bowler-friendly conditions. Do you think when it is a 160 odd of a game, that could be a winning total, that sort of a ground will make Pakistan dangerous, and they'd be happy that the final is in MCG and not like a flat track like Adelaide?
Yes, most certainly. You have given the answer yourself only that this pitch in Melbourne itself, have lot to offer for seamers, who can bowl 145 at the same time. Their balls swing both way, and I think Pakistan have the edge when it comes to bowling. They have some brilliant bowlers in their lineup, and who could not just threat you with their pace, but also can take those wickets. And let me just tell you that Butler and Hales, they played those brilliant shots against India. They won very convincingly. Of course, they outplayed us in the semi-final. That's not going to be the case here. They'll still have to be dependent on other batters, other bowlers to do the job. I think Josh Butler's captaincy was outstanding in the semi-final. People have not spoken about it, how he used his bowler, and how India were only able to get 168, and credit to Hardik Pandya, they got that many. But yeah, here, 160, 170 could be a winning total, but it'll again come down to England's batting versus Pakistan's fast bowling. Whoever win that battle, I think they'll have the edge. And I do believe that, England need to be a little careful against someone like Roth and Afridi, who can swing the ball, who can damage up front. And, if you see, Butler and Hales, they score runs against India. But if you get them out early on, this batting also looks very fragile. No matter they have batting till 9 or 10. But not to forget, their main batters are Butler and Hales and Ben Stokes. That's it.
That's a very valid point that Harbhajan is making, because we've seen in this tournament, their middle order really hasn't fired. It's looked very brittle for England, and also their middle order hasn't had a chance to bat very long. Either they've not got their batting, or when they've got a chance, they've gotten out very early. Even someone like Stokes has probably bat about 30 balls in this entire tournament, 30, 35 balls. I was looking at a few stats. So not too much time in the middle, and that could be dangerous if they are called upon in a big game like the final. On the other hand, you've got the Pakistan team. Both their openers now have got their run. The middle order was also contributing in this tournament. So that are those factors that are working for Pakistan. So as Harbhajan pointed out, it's a close contest between the two teams when you compare man to man. But one area where there will be no close contest, and that is fan support. Yes, Pakistan will not have a fan base like India, because if India were playing, you would have had a packed house, 90,000. With Pakistan, England, you will not have a packed house, but you could fairly assume that 80-90% of the crowd that will come in will be Pakistani supporters. I caught up with a few Pakistani supporters during the meet and greet a day before the final, and interestingly, they are not happy that India has not made the final. They are upset because they wanted to see an India final. In fact, some of them went to an extent by saying that, listen, we will beat England and avenge and take revenge for the defeat that India had at the hands of England. So those were the sentiments that I heard from a few Pakistani fans. Listen in. Okay, it is still a few hours to go for that big T20 World Cup final, but the party here has already started. Plenty of fans with me. I can see the lone English flag, and then you got the Pakistani flag there. Let me start with the lone supporter. He's all alone, right? So, what do you think England's going to win?
I don't think England's going to win at all. I'm just carrying the flag.
You switch sides, huh?
I switch sides all the time.
I think for the suit he's wearing, Pakistan deserves it.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the suit is made up of all the t-shirts of Pakistan's previous competitions and the World Cups. So it's just a mix of all the t-shirts basically.
Okay, and if Pakistan win, we know who's going to sponsor the party, the rich sheikh, obviously. You got enough cash in your pocket?
I've given it all out, I'm afraid.
Okay, why do you think, I mean, how do you see this contest? England versus, I keep saying India, usually expecting England versus Pakistan.
You know, the whole motto lately is that we expected to have a 30 years ago, the whole spirit to come back, and the 92 is the spirit. That's why we're wearing the same top. Hopefully we can smash England out of the way. However, we're hoping it's going to be a great game, and Pakistan get the job done.
Okay. One reason you think Pakistan's going to win?
Well, I can give you a number of reasons. The first reason is it's going to be a repeat of 92 World Cup. And I want to give a message out to all my Indian friends. We'll get revenge for you guys. We'll beat England by 10 wickets.
Okay. So you'd want Indian fans to be rooting for Asia, get an Asian team to win.
Absolutely. India, we got you. We're going to make sure we bring it home. It's just next door. We've got on the neighbour. Cup backs come back home. That's all it is.
Look, guys, if you want to see the cup, right, come to Wagah border. We'll show you from there.
Okay. Honestly, hand on your heart. You're happy India is not here, or would you wanted an India-Pakistan?
Honestly, India-Pakistan would have been much better. You know, the England's obviously a good team as well, but India-Pakistan is a crazy atmosphere.
The mother of all games.
Yeah, 100%. The biggest game of all time. So that would have been amazing. But it's unfortunate that they lost by 10 wickets. So we move forward.
I personally would have liked India to be here as well, but for history to repeat itself for 1932, it has to be England. We have to beat England and repeat history. 30 years, fast forward 30 years later, and we've done it again.
Okay, so fans are hoping that it's a repeat of the 1992 game that they saw. Thank you guys so much for talking to us. So the party has already started, much before the game has started. There's an English band playing, but there are Pakistani fans jiving to it. Are you guys dancing a bit early? The game's not over yet?
It is almost over, my friend.
For us, it is home! Okay, you've also got the youngest fan right there from Pakistan. All of them turning up at the big MCG, hoping to repeat 1992. That's the common sentiment amongst fans here. The team had a meet and greet and plenty of Pakistani fans turning up. Of course, the English team was also there. I know Indian fans would have been hoping that India play here, but it's Pakistan that have made it, England that have made it, and quite clearly the two best teams in the tournament so far will be competing at the final. Nikhil Nas for India today at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.